Sawadee ka! Welcome to Hot Thai Kitchen. Today I've got the easiest curry ever to share with you. It's so easy, in fact, that it is the one that we make the most often at home in Thailand. It's something called Gaeng Som. So Gaeng is curry and Som means sour. So yes, it is a sour curry. That's more like a soup if you were to look at it sort of from a Western standpoint. It's very light, very thin, super delicious. The version that I'm making today is Gaeng Som Malakaw, and Malakaw is papaya. So it's a dish that contains green papaya, which a lot of people look at green papaya and they're only thinking salad, but it's actually a really, really versatile vegetable. So let's get started. So as always, I'm going to make the curry paste first, and this is the simplest curry paste ever. I'm starting with some dried chilies. I don't like my Gaeng Som to be very spicy, so I'm using today the bigger ones. This is guajillo peppers, and I'm adding just a few arbol chilies for that extra spiciness. You can make it as spicy or as mild as you wish, okay? Just going to take the seeds out by cutting these into chunks. Woo! To the chilies, I'm going to add some shallots and garlic that I've chopped, and a little salt, and of course, some shrimp paste. If you are making this vegetarian, you do not have to add the shrimp paste. You can add some miso paste instead. This curry paste does not have a lot of ingredients, so the shrimp paste flavor will actually come out quite a bit. So if you're sort of new to it, don't add too much, otherwise it might be a little too shrimp pasty. And now, this is hard to find, but it's really important in Gaeng Som. This is called grachai, or in English is called finger root. Now, I know this label says rhizome in brine, which is as descriptive as calling an apple fruit. So I can't get this fresh. So the fresh ones look like in the label here, but the stuff in brine is actually really, really good. The smell is still strong and really true to what the fresh roots smell like. If you can't find it, I'm gonna say, well, you know what can you do, right? So you gotta skip it. There's nothing you can substitute with that really smells similar. You could try galangal, but it's really quite different. Look in your Asian grocery stores. Vietnamese stores will often have it as well. Sometimes it's shredded like mine is here. Sometimes it's whole. So take a look, ask around. So since this curry paste will not be sauteed, I can actually add some water and blend it. Makes my life easy. I don't need to, fight with it. You can, of course, do this in a mortar and pestle, but this is one of the rare occasions where you can just add water and blend. All right. Yes, there are still little flakes of chilies. Don't worry about it. That's okay. It'll add little character to the curry. So first of all, check out my beautiful new pot. It was on a crazy sale, so I couldn't stop myself. But in any case, in this beautiful pot, I've got some unsalted pork stock. You can do chicken stock, you can do fish stock. Now, Gaeng Som is unique in that it's brothy, but the way you thicken the curry is with fish. So I've got here some cod, but for this you can use any mild flavored fish that you have. Even leftovers would be fine. Make sure it's inexpensive. I mean, don't do this with $20 a pound halibut because we're gonna smush it up to nothing. So I'm gonna just cook this fish really quick in this pot here, in this broth here. So the fish is fully cooked. Now I'm gonna take this out, transfer it in my mortar and pestle here just so I can moosh it up. And by the way, you can put as much fish or as little fish as you like, depending on how thick you want it. Some people don't put the fish at all. Back to the curry pot. I'm gonna turn the heat back on. So now my curry paste is just gonna go straight in. I mean, this is one of those, a water-based curry. If you read my book, you'll know all about water-based curry. But water-based curries generally doesn't involve sauteing the paste in advance. You just dissolve it right in. So this is why I said it's more like a soup. So it's light and brothy and delicious. I'm gonna let that come to a simmer. I'm gonna add my fish also. And by the way, don't use canned tuna. I've done that before. It does not taste good. You want mild flavor, okay? Before I add my vegetables, I'm going to add my seasoning. So when I put my vegetables in, it has some seasoning to absorb, right? So of course, fish sauce as per usual. Some palm sugar to balance the salt and also the acid, which we'll add in a second. This is key ingredient right here, tamarind. I'm using tamarind concentrate, or what I refer to as tamarind juice. This is the main sour flavor, and you cannot have Gaeng Som without tamarind. Tamarind sourness varies from brand to brand. So I always just start with 3 tablespoons, then I taste and adjust from there. So while that's coming to a simmer, I want to talk to you about vegetables. So I mentioned this is Gaeng Som malaka, which is papaya. So that's my green papaya right there that I cut up into nice wedges. Now, if you're wondering what green papaya looks like, thank you very much. Ta-da! This is a green papaya. It's not a different variety of papaya. It's just an underripe papaya. But I like to go with the bigger ones. It's more substantial. If you get like one of those little Hawaiian papayas, the meat is so thin. So I like to stick with the bigger one. So it's the same one you use for green papaya salad, right? When it comes to Gaeng Som, I like a lot of different types of vegetables, so there's lots of things to choose from. So some classic choices are napa cabbage, which I've chopped up, some carrots, which I made into beautiful little stars here, and what I did was that I used a julienne peeler and peeled the carrot and then just sliced them, and the julienne peeler will create this beautiful edge that makes the carrot so much more festive and super easy to do. And if you're interested in buying the julienne peeler, it is listed in my kit. I'll put that link in the description below. And some dark green color and crunchiness. I've got some long beans here that I just cut up. Okay, so it's coming to a boil now. I'm going in with papaya and carrots, which will take longer to cook. And the papaya, in my experience, takes about 10 minutes. So 8 minutes in, I'm gonna add the rest of the vegetables, which will only take 2 minutes. Ooh, look at this. So now I just gotta go and just fork these papaya. Okay, it's cooked. It's still a little firm. That's okay, because it's still got a couple more minutes. The napa cabbage and the long beans. And by the way, if you're in southern Thailand, you notice that their Gaeng Som is more yellow, and in fact they call it Gaeng Leung, which is the yellow curry. And all they do is they add turmeric in it. Doesn't that look pretty? Ooh, beautiful. So now, protein-wise, so Gaeng Som typically uses shrimp. So I've got here some shrimp that's been peeled and deveined. You can do fish, you can do other protein as well. It's not wrong. I'm just showing what's classically done. And these are gonna just take 30 seconds at the most. And that is it. How easy was that? That is some legit Thai curry. Oh, and by the way, if you have my book, check out the Gaeng Som version in my book. It has pieces of omelette floating in the soup, which goes super well. So check that out. Now I'm gonna do a final tasting to adjust acidity, most importantly. Oh, that's good. But it does need some acidity. I find that the tamarind that they have here, it's not that sour. So I always want to finish it with some lime. Brightens everything up. Now you may not need the lime, okay? This depends on your tamarind. And I'm also going to add just a touch of fish sauce. And this is something you have to adjust because depending on how much vegetables you put in, what kind of vegetables you put in, they release different amounts of water, right? So always taste. Now. I'm like salivating. I mean, this reminds me so much of my mom. It's one of her favorite curries, and it's actually really healthy too, right? It's just full of vegetables and herbs, and this is of course normally eaten with rice, like all curries, but I was not organized enough to get the rice cooked in time, so I'm just gonna taste it for you straight up, which is also delicious. So I'm gonna try the papaya. Instantly takes me home. I mean, there are very few flavors that really communicate the rustic, simple home cooking of Thai cuisine better than this one. Tart with a little sweet, and that aroma of the grachai really comes through. It's flavorful yet simple and clean at the same time, and it's really a nice break if you always stick with the rich coconut curry. This is light and brothy. Put some rice into here and eat it like a rice soup. So I hope you give this a try. The recipe, as always, will be on hotthaikitchen.com. When you make it, send me a photo on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. And if you haven't subscribed to the show, make sure that you do so you don't miss a recipe. And also click the little bell icon to make sure you get a notification when I post a new video. If you love the show, you want to support us, check out our Patreon link in the description below, and I will see you next time for your next delicious Thai meal.